vendors were amazed at is that our volunteers were like willing to sit at their booth so they could run and grab something to eat if the little maid cafe people weren't able to get around to them.
Oh, that was fun having those girls and that one guy
even
doing
go
that.
to the bathroom and things like that.
Yeah, we had maid cafe going on.
But it wasn't like your traditional.
I want to see you in a French maid outfit, Ray. That would be scary as hell.
Whatever you want.
No, dude.
But it wasn't the traditional maid
We're not doing
cafe
a horror show here, man.
It's not something that we really knew much about.
But now we know how to use that resource better now.
Adapted, improvised, and overcame.
And they were so helpful.
And they were amazing. And a lot of the vendors were like, "Oh my god."
Where'd we get those from?
I'm not exactly sure.
I know them as students at RIT. I'm not sure if that's where you guys found them, but
I think they found us.
They came to us.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah. That's awesome.
I love it. Yeah,
they're all students at RIT. I know that. I know them.
So we know more for next year.
Yeah, we got a better connection with them now, and now they know what we're going to expect, and we know they're capable of.
I'm pretty sure they're all based out of the RIT cosplay troupe.
Good deal.
They're awesome.
Good deal.
Okay, Ian, I think had something.
Ian, you had something you wanted to say. Bring it on.
All right, back to the conversation where they felt like we would talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd usually go around because, well, I'm not a volunteer. I would just, know the man who...
He's got the family connection.
Yeah, family connection. I still walked around, made sure everybody was working, making sure they needed anything.
Mm-hmm.
If they needed anything, I'd point them to an actual volunteer, not like me because I'm useless.
Oh, don't say that.
I'd table
Don't
sit.
say that. You're only partially
for
useless.
anything?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
So.
Yeah, he did. He's good at that. Well, he's got a special connection with some of the friends in the
dragons over there.
No, this is like a poker die. It's cool because there's full rays.
Did you bring Walter with you?
I didn't bring Walter. It's in the car. Walter's in the car right now.
I can
Walter's
go get him.
napping?
He needed a vacation. I wore him out.
From Breaking Bad?
No, my fidget cube. I named it Walter on the fly.
You did not meet Walter on Facebook?
Okay. Well, there's a whole story there somewhere along the line. Yeah. I own a fidget cube.
Walter attended the convention, too.
Yes, I own a fidget cube. Its name is Walter, and it got
Walter almost
worn
died.
the hell
we have
out.
to get an emergency helicopter in this.
Yeah, let's bring in Mercy Flight. But yeah, our fearless leader, the guy at the top of the food chain, Dan, our president, he has been a diehard Disney fan, and I know I've made mention of this on several occasions in other podcasts. He's been a diehard Disney fan since we were kids. Right?
I think before conception.
But you know what? I think it might. I wonder sometimes if he's not Walt Disney reincarnated.
It could
sometimes
very
I
well
really
be.
do wonder.
I love his Mickey Mouse.
But the long and the short of it is Dan has always been, he's gone to Disney often. He runs the marathon down there often. But the whole philosophy behind the Disney parks is something he's always stressed to us to emulate. And it's a no-brainer. It really is a no-brainer. It's very easy. And it's just making sure that everybody is on the same page. And I, as right now, one of my jobs is volunteer coordinator. And so I really need to step up my game in making sure the volunteers all have more information because there were sometimes they got caught with their pants down, and I felt bad about that.
Not literally.
Not literally. Well, during the costume contest, I heard there were some incidents. But the long and the short of it is making sure that everybody is informed so that any person wearing an FC3 badge or shirt saying staff or volunteer or whatnot, that you can interact with them and get the amount of information you could get from a director. That person can help you. And I've always told my volunteers, again, a no-brainer. A lot of the people that we've brought on staff, you haven't had to tell them this sort of thing. They've been awesome right from the get-go. Like Angie, we didn't really give you a whole lot of information ahead of time. You just
She get a lot of training.
You just told basically this is how you get the tickets done and this is how you punch it in the computer. And then she has natural ability. I mean, she's great with people.
She was a lifesaver for me. She is the only reason I was able to escape.
I taught her everything she knows.
Sybil's throwing some love your way right now. I know you're not on the headsets at the moment.
You want to get on? No, you can take me.
Here comes Ange.
Come on.
Here comes the Ange.
I know, and that's the one thing that we know that we have to improve is the communications with the volunteers ahead of time and getting more discussion with them and getting to meet each other and things like that.
The info desk did not have as much info as it needed.
Really?
What was that?
The info desk. I know.
It didn't have as much info as needed? Yeah. Well, you know what? The info desk didn't...
They didn't know...
Go ahead.
Where to, people would come up all the time asking, okay, where do you sign up for the cosplay contest? They had no idea.
Yeah,
something that they needed to know.
That was a communications breakdown for us because we were under the impression that a lot of that had been handled and we didn't follow. So we just didn't follow up on it. So that was our bad for dropping the ball on that one. But from here, just making sure that everybody who has the staff and the volunteer shirt on knows the same thing as the directors. So that we can go from there And we can continue doing that whole checking on the people and checking on the crowd, checking on the ticket holders, checking on the vendors, making sure the people have things going on and that they don't need anything, checking on the VIPs. And I'm going to come over here to talk to Dolly in a minute about VIP Row and our VIP liaison, Tanya. Go ahead, Tony.
You want to know what I really loved?
No.
All right.
I don't. Not until you tell me, man.
Well, your eyes are crystal blue.
Mine are shit brown.
Mine are crystal blue.
Family friendly anymore.
Yeah.
I really loved talking to the artists.
Okay.
All of them were really nice, and I was actually able to talk to them and have genuinely good conversations with them.
Our local artists are amazing. The guys that Judah Nevedonsky has brought to our attention over the past couple of years, like Eugene Commodore, Shane Logan, even your friend there, Doug Arthur,
and then Bill.
And Bill Anderson.
Had a blast, from what I understand.
Nigel Carrington.
Nigel enjoyed himself.
Nigel was a great guy. Nigel's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then Jason Ferguson's best buddy to the world. The guy's so freaking amazing. And then it's Stephanie Oswald and just all these people.
She was amazing.
She's a doll.
Oh my God! Can I tell you
I
how
love that
much
girl.
she did on Friday as a volunteer before she was her artist presence on Saturday and Sunday? Oh my God. She's just amazing. I would have.
I know I'm missing
lost
people too.
Before
we also had Rob Dumo and Liz Pritchard. International award-winning
She's
Liz Pritchard.
Currently in Taiwan.
Thailand, I thought.
Thailand.
Yeah.
Hey, she run into a local judge while she's there.
Her itinerary is...
I guess what I think. I think she's in Taiwan because the judge is in Thailand.
I currently hate all of you for that one.
I think
the power of technology, we can always figure this out.
But the people are amazing. The people that we had working with us and the people that we had on vendor floor and Artist Alley, everybody was just so much fun to be around. I was just having such a great time watching everybody having a great time.
One thing I couldn't even tell you how many times I had to tell people to stop standing on the stairs.
Oh, I know.
People got to walk through.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just looking. No, go look down there. Enjoy the con.
Yeah, well, we had that 2-level vendor floor.
Yeah.
So and we won't have that again going forward, unfortunately, because that's a feature that's just going to kind of fade into the background now that vendor floor is going upstairs. But it was fun to watch people just kind of stop and just kind of stare over the Lilac Ballroom going, wow, look at it all. Well, there's a lot out there. Go ahead. Go explore it.
I'm like, I don't mind. I don't mind if you stand off to the side. But as long as you're not on the stairs, like people through, I'm happy. Nope, they want to stop on the stairs and just admire everything.
Yep. Well, there was a lot to admire. It was a good-looking show.
That it was.
All right, so let's wander on our way to VIP Row. And for that, we're going to talk to our VIP liaison who's texting at the moment.
No, I was double-checking
likely story.
Facebook, and Liz is in the Philippines and in Taiwan.
Okay, so
but then
in Taiwan.
I came across a picture. It says, how fitting, a Ford toy that teaches you how to walk.
Oh, jeez.
So I had to laugh.
And Dolly Marie over here.
Yes.
Not Donnie Ann Marie, but Dolly Marie.
Dolly Marie.
She's a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll, all in one package.
And she's extremely excited because she was a Whovian. And
I know.
And we put her with Colin.
We put her with Colin. I was getting thank you notes like every day for about 3 weeks straight. It was amazing. It was amazing. And then she started saying, I'm the doctor's companion.
I
have a ring for you then.
On Facebook that I was going to be the doctor's companion and to come out and see me and Colin at FC3 because,
Not Colin with Dolly being there. It's come see me and Colin Baker. And Colin Baker.
It's all about the companions, not the doctor.
Next to Colin
it really
Baker.
is.
Yeah.
The companion makes the doctor.
He
Come
is.
on.
It really does. It really does. It's gotten just as important in the recent series.
The VIPs guests that we had in this year were absolutely
We had a great
phenomenal
time.
and amazing and things like that.
We've done really good at picking some friendly people.
And even though all the travel snafus that were happening and that Tom Kane didn't get in until Saturday morning, and he had to be picked up at the airport. And I want to thank Sean, one of our volunteers that is the gopher, and he does pretty much everything.
He's so tolerant
he's
of us.
He's like, next time he goes, can you at least put a break in my schedule, please? Because he had no break in any of his schedule for the entire weekend. He just went everywhere. He was not happy with me, but he does this because he loves us and he's a friend of ours and he does everything for the friend. But he was there. He was getting the food and he was getting other things and he picked up Tom Kane from the airport and he was supposed to meet Jerry Lawler at the airport on Sunday at least to get him in here. But then whole travel arrangements for him. And I think that's the most challenging part to this is all the organization and the logistics that's around there. So,
and Tanya, you got to pick up your Red Power Ranger friend, didn't you?
Well, I didn't get to pick him up. I just met him at the airport, and now if I could, no. Well, he actually picked me up in the green room when we crashed into each other. He was coming out of the green one. I was coming into the green room. He's like, "Hey," I'm like, "Hey, if you're going to knock into me, you might as well hug me." He goes, "Okay," and he proceeded to.
Nice.
And it was like not like a 2-second hug. It was like a 10 to 30 second to I don't know how long it went.
She is counting. She is
still happening.
But I walked into the green room and Evan goes, "Man, you're red." I'm like, "Well, the Red Power Ranger just grabbed me." So yes.
I have an amazing story about that.
Go ahead.
But for him, he kept getting a hold of our walkie-talkie radios.
I've heard about that. I heard that.
So what Austin St. John was not only entertaining the crowd and the ticket holders.
He was entertaining the staff.
He would get on staff and he would get on the walkie-talkie range and just start chatting with us. It was just hilarious.
And he thought that we would all stop him.
Yeah.
He was waiting for us
He was waiting for us to stop him. He kept looking at me like, "Can I go all the way with this joke?" "Yeah, go ahead. You're not done yet."
I don't think he realized that we're a bunch of misfits ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and he's
Absolutely.
used to grabbing one of the radios at the larger conventions, and the ones that are like 100-plus radios that are going through, and he will change all the channels.
Yes, and mess them up.
And get to like the security channel and get to this channel. And when he was in the green room, and he was going off and blah, 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 and said his joke, and then all of a sudden he goes, "Security breach, green room, it's morphin' time." Tim Newton from the convention center.
Our convention center liaison comes flying in the room.
Green room.
Oh my God!
And then
hilarious.
it made the connection. He made the connection. What was said after that? That
That's
it was
because he
morphin' time.
ran in and we were all laughing our butts off.
And he's like, "I'm out." And so we have to thank Tim for
being as patient as he is,
putting up with us for the whole
2 years
entire
now. 2 years that man has suffered us.
Now to take this lighthearted conversation and make it serious, which isn't me normally, but the following week there was a security problem at a convention in Phoenix.
Arizona.
So,
I'm glad you brought that up.
Surrounding, strangely enough, a Power Ranger, and at first I thought it was our Power Ranger, but it wasn't. It was the green.
It was Jason David Frank.
Yes, and there was a man with a weapon looking to do him some harm.
Weapons plural.
He wanted to do some harm to him. So how will this affect conventions in general and ours in particular?
Well,
I'm glad you asked.
From what I read, from what
he's
been posting lately, he is starting to do a thing for all conventions where from now on it's
you got to have a certain level of security.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
he has a Facebook Live comment going to live on June 4th at 6 o'clock Central Time.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
where he's going to talk about the whole thing,
right?
But his main ordeal is it's pretty much go through this and I don't know, pretty much.
Be safe and secure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't find the word.
and that's all well and good. And I'm glad you brought that up, Billy, because this is actually a very important thing to talk about. And we're going to reanalyze our weapon policy as well. A lot of conventions are doing it. There's a bunch of local conventions in Western New York that are all beginning to kind of step back and look at things. There's going to be practical, feasible methods to ensure people's safety. Mm-hmm. And we will explore everything we possibly can. Now, we also have to acknowledge that there's a very large and healthy cosplay community, especially in the Rochester-Monroe County area. And we want to be able to respect that when they have these big, obnoxious costume pieces.
And prop weapons.
Yeah, and prop weapons that they're not inconvenienced to the point where it kind of ruins the theme and the vibe of their costume. So there's a balancing act that needs to be done where we respect the ticket holder, but also respect that we want everybody to be safe. And we're going to be taking steps, and we haven't written an official policy yet at this point, but you can expect that we're going to be doing a little bit more aggressive checking of things at the door. We're going to be monitoring things. If somebody comes in with a backpack, we may have to request the ability to search the backpack just to make sure. We're going to say if weapons, if it's an obvious like metal replica piece, that you don't bring it in the first place, that you find something that can be a little bit more off.
It's always been shocking to me that some places have allowed real weapons, swords and the such. I've been to Fan Expo a few times in Toronto, and it's never been a problem, but I've always looked at it and go, this could be a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we come from an era, especially Billy, you and I, and Zach. I'm pretty sure you're up there with us in terms of age. 35? It's the gray in the beard that throws me off. I'm like older than you by a shit ton. All right. So now I'm going to be. Here comes the arthritis again.